So the weather in South Africa this weekend has been super cold. It's even snowed in some parts of the country. Right now it's like 9 degrees Celsius, which I know to a lot of people overseas that isn't exactly the coldest weather, but for us South Africans, that's pretty damn cold. I woke up this morning and I thought to myself, most South Africans on a day like this would stay home, curl up with like a cup of rooibos tea or coffee and watch some movies, you know, just enjoy the cold weather. But as I've been thinking about potentially moving to Europe, the weather is a key consideration of that. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm actually gonna make a day of this and get out there and do stuff in the cold weather and try to enjoy it. And I thought that it would be a great opportunity to take you guys along with me and do a vlog style video. It is gonna be very different to the other video that I've posted. It's gonna be a lot more all over the place, unscripted, uncandid. We'll see how that goes and what that looks like. But I thought I'd bring you along for the day and we can enjoy the cold weather. It's not snowing yet, but it is like cloudy and overcast. So I thought we could talk a little bit about the differences between South African weather and European weather that I've experienced when I've traveled. I think it's crazy how here in SA, like we're just not geared up at all for the cold. I've had so many people talk about how when they move overseas, they actually experience winter less to a lesser degree because the houses overseas and all of that are just so much better insulated. Is that a grammatically correct sentence? So much better insulated. Insulated in such a better way, perhaps. And I mean, it makes sense. We don't need that here. It's just crazy. Housing, like insulation, clothes as well. I've got this overcoat from my grandparents. I'm not gonna wear this. I'm not gonna wear this. I feel like this is a pretentious. It's 9 degrees. It's not that cold, you know? Also, South African classic, a K-way. You will spot a South African overseas when they've got their K-way. We're not prepared. We're not prepared for the cold. And it's overcast today as well. Super foggy, it's raining. South Africans do not know how to drive in this weather. They do not know how to drive because everyone just stays home. Like everyone just stays home instead of going places. I also think it's crazy how like in South Africa, there are multiple different kinds of people when it comes to this cold weather. You'll get those people who go all out and it's 9 degrees and they are in fur coats, like boots, you know, like really going all out. And then there are people who are just in shorts and slops and that's it. Short slops, sometimes barefoot, like, you know, the vibes of SA. That's crazy to me. I'd like to think I fall somewhere in the middle. I'm gonna put this overcoat on, you know, ironically. I'm not gonna wear this out. Like, there's no way. There's no way. You can't be serious. Like, please be for real right now. This in the, no, I'm not wearing this. I'm not wearing this. I have to put a load of laundry in before we get going. Like logistics of everyday tasks and stuff as simple as washing clothes. Here, we're so used to having the sun out all the time that we mostly air dry our clothes outside. And obviously in places like the UK, they'll leave their clothes on the clothes horse indoors for like 3 days for it to fully dry, which is crazy. The weather impacts so many tiny day-to-day things that you oftentimes don't even realize and things that you take for granted. That's one of the benefits that I find of traveling. You note what you take for granted in your own country and also gain an appreciation for certain things. Okay, now that is cold. We are waiting for the car to warm up because the car that I drive is actually older than I am. It needs some time. Gerald is the car's name. I'm worried that this is gonna fall. Okay, shit. It's cold. But I think that I'm coming to realize that I prefer this colder weather to super hot weather, which I think is a good thing to learn about myself as I've traveled a bit and experienced a bit of it. Day to day, I still don't know, and I think I'll only know if I'm living in a place that has weather like this day to day. The reality is you really do just adapt to wherever you are. It is a question of where do you want to adapt to, right? And what do you want to adapt to? Something like weather is somewhat inconsequential to determining where I want to stay. Maybe that answer will change once I've lived in a place that has poor weather a lot, but that's kind of where my head's at on that sort of thing. This Woolworths here is like the local hotspot. Like everyone from the area comes here, and the car park is packed today. You always see someone you know from school or from work or from life. It's crazy. So we'll see if we see anyone. I don't know how I'm gonna handle vlogging, because that's something I'm still working on, is kind of that, getting over that spotlight effect. I'm walking around with the camera. I think everyone's looking at me walking around with the camera, and maybe they are. And even so, it's like, well, who cares? Like that's what I'm doing. So even as there are people walking past the car, it's like, they're looking at me, but oh well, that's life. This is what I'm doing. So hey, cool. Okay, we'll see how many good shots we get inside. You know the car is old when that is the security system of the car. But anyways, let's get going and let's see who we see, or hopefully don't see. I think hopefully don't see. This is kind of awkward, but kind of cool. Like it feels, I don't know why it feels so exciting, but it kind of does. I'm walking away from people because I'm like, this is so awkward, but we'll get over this. We'll learn. I think that people must think I'm talking to myself because I don't have any AirPods in or anything, and it is a bizarre experience. And I also find it very difficult to concentrate whilst vlogging. Like, what am I here for? What am I here for? I don't know. I do have a list, but I don't know. Hello, how are you? Good, thank you. Could I just get an almond croissant, please?
How many?
Just one. Thanks so much. Bagels, an almond croissant, and muffins secured. Super healthy shopping list today. Naturally, we have to stop to get a vanilla and cinnamon cappuccino from Woolworths. This, for those of you who don't know, is the best coffee in the world. That's my undebatable opinion right there. But it was actually a friend of mine, Ishan, shout out to Ishan, who was like, my mom always gets this coffee, so you have to try it. And I did, and my life was changed. So much, eh? You too.
Cheers.
And let's get going. I was honestly quite surprised to see just how many people there were out and about. Naturally, most in K-ways or whatever. A bit of it is about the novelty of it. You know, like everyone gets to have their little cafe moment, bundling up and grabbing a cup of coffee and sitting in a cafe whilst it's raining outside. That sense of novelty is something that I worry about in terms of like it coloring my perception, because right now I think that I could do weather like this. Like I actually enjoy this, it being cooler and having a jacket and you know, dumb stuff like that. I think I would enjoy this weather more than I enjoy like super hot weather. But the question is my view just being colored by novelty? And even if it is, so what, right? Like that's part of this whole experience, is being able to try new things, and if you don't like them, you change. And there's no shame, I think, in trying something and admitting that you don't like it. I love South Africa. I adore South Africa. But I do want to try Europe for some time. And if I go there and I don't like it, I just come back. And that's a very privileged position to be in, 100%. Just a matter of now seeing what I want, trying out different things. And I think now is the time of our lives where we should be trying out different things, different places, different climates, different cities, different jobs, and seeing what sticks, what fits, and what works. A friend of mine from the UK, when I was talking through this with him, do I go to Europe or do I try Cape Town for some time? Joburg's great, but I wanted to change, something different. And so I thought, you know, Europe or Cape Town. And he said to me, Miguel, you are so young, do Europe. Cape Town will always be there. Like Cape Town will always be there, South Africa will always be there, Joburg will always be there. Do Europe and try something new now. And that resonates with another concept that I heard Mel Robbins speak about. I'll link the podcast down below. She's fantastic. And this podcast in particular was really, really super cool. She said, you know, in your early 20s, well, your 20s in general, that is the time to take risks. And if you don't know what risks to take, move. Move. It forces you to get out of your comfort zone. You learn something new, you try something new, you meet new people. And that's what I'm looking at, I think. Seeing where I'm gonna end up and where I'm gonna try and how we're gonna get there. So I'll keep you along for the ride. Before Miguel from the past wraps up, Editor Miguel just wanted to jump in here and say hi, firstly, but more so, as I'm wrapping up editing with this vlog video, I thought it was going to be a lot easier to edit. Like, it has taken me a long time. So I really would love your honest feedback as to whether this is even a format that you enjoy, because I find that a lot of it is just me rambling, and if people enjoy that, great. Any feedback at all is really appreciated. So leave a comment down below. Again, such influencer, much wow. Thank you for watching, and I'll let Past Miguel wrap that up again. Thank you for joining me this morning to do some shopping and experience a bit of the London weather in South Africa. I thoroughly appreciated the company, and I hope that you enjoyed this vlog style video. It was cool to film. It did force me to like slow down. Like, it is 1:40 in the afternoon and I haven't eaten today. But that's part of the grind, baby. God. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.